What's up, guys? It's Dr. Sean from Active Life, and this is Asia helping us out today with a little movement demo. So one of the things that we always ask coaches to do is evaluate the shoulder's ability to go through full range of motion before we put somebody on a pull-up bar, or doing a thruster, or handstand push-up, or something like that. The test we use is our shoulder flexion test. We're just going to demonstrate the very end of it. Legs are straight. Asia's going to bring both arms over her head. Now what you can see is when Asia does this, her back stays nice and flat on the ground. I can't get my arm all the way underneath there. Everything stays fairly still except for her shoulders. There are some people who, when they do this test, you'll see their ribs move a little bit. So go ahead and move your arms over your head and let the ribs flare a little bit. On that, you saw the ribs lift up off a little bit from where they were previously. So do one more time. Let's show them one more time the ribs move. As you come up, you'll see the ribs start to open up a little bit. Oftentimes, coaches will think that that's a fail, that that's a bad thing, that we don't want that to be occurring, when in reality, it's a very normal thing that should be happening for people. I think this comes from the idea that you're taught ribs down when you press, and that's not actually meant to talk about your ribs. It's because of what's probably happening in your low back that's forcing your ribs to lift. So we're going to show you what that would look like. When you bring your arms up this time, please lift your back off the ground, your low back. Now I can slide my arm all the way underneath Asia's back, which means that she's exposing herself to not only injury, but a lack of performance. Let's show them one more time. Just the rib flare, so the normal rib flare. Ribs go up a little bit. I can't get my arm underneath there. Bring it back down. Bring them up and let the low back come off the ground. That is what we're looking at as a problem. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take you over to the barbell and show you how it looks when we're standing up, actually pressing a weight. So when we take the movement that we just showed you on the floor and we bring it to a barbell, it's going to look like this. First things first, Asia's just going to go ahead and show us her beautiful shoulder press with no cueing, no nothing. Good. Perfect. What I want you to see, let's do it one more time and hold the top for me, please. What I want you guys to see is that her arms are stacked over the top of her shoulders. She's covering her ear. Everything is fairly flat, but there's a little bit of extension in her thoracic spine, which is normal. Let's bring it back down. Now show me what it would look like, please, Asia, if you were to lean back like we're looking to avoid with the cue that we're talking about on the floor. There we go. Now she's finishing with that bar out in front of her. Her chest is looking at the ceiling and she's exposing the top of her lumbar spine, what we call the thoracolumbar junction, to injury. So bring that barbell back down. The common question that we get asked is, how do we cue out of that then? If we don't say ribs down, right? Because try to do a press, please, with your ribs really, really tucked down and show us what happens. Like, give it to me, show me what you got. Can you do that?
It's really difficult.
It's really difficult. You're absolutely going to be giving up performance if you think ribs down when you press overhead. For some of you guys who don't have the range of motion that Asia has, you're actually not going to be able to complete it at all. And I don't want you guys to think that that means you can't shoulder press. It's normal. Your ribs have to move at the end of the range of motion. So go ahead, Asia, and press up all the way, leaning back like we did on that last rep, the wrong way. Okay. So how are we going to cue that away if we're not going to say ribs down? Because you're not going to say ribs down anymore. Bring the barbell back down. Very, very simple. All we're going to do is we're going to stand with our hand about 1.5 inches off of your client's back. Elbow into your own rib cage so that it doesn't move, and go ahead and press without your back coming into my hand. Perfect. Come on back down, and let's do it again. Good. Now show them what that would look like if you did lean back into my hand, please. Right? So when she feels my hand, she knows I leaned back too far. Very simple cue. You can rack the bar, thank you. Very simple cue. Very easy way to help somebody get better going overhead without using a cue that would confuse them on the purpose. Right? Ribs down, they start thinking, I want to be in this position. That's not the case. The end of shoulder flexion is going to require some thoracic extension and also rib expansion. So please, 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 coaches, do not inhibit your clients from doing that.